Welcome to the Horses and Holy Moments podcast.
Hello, Ingela.
Hey, Corrie.
How are you?
Great. How are you?
Awesome. I am excited for this episode. It's going to be really wonderful. We are, of course, called Horses and Holy Moments. And so we just love talking about holy moments. And Ingela, you started a project with your husband, Richard, in Brazil, a mission project, right?
Right. Yes, we still have a farm in Brazil. And we were there for 14 years.
Yes.
Half the year. But we led a project called Horses for Orphans in Brazil.
Yes, and I had the opportunity, I've said this in another episode, but to visit and volunteer at their mission. It was incredible, so amazing. So we are going to visit a holy moment. Ingela, could you talk about what happened in Brazil in July of 2015?
Sure. So we had Brazilian boys that called us mom and dad, and we raised them. And that wasn't easy because we didn't live in Brazil full time. There were plenty of up and downs, of course.
Yes.
Hardship, suffering, but joy. But thankfully, in July 2015, we were there.
Yes.
And we were able to be there for our then 16-year-old son, Douglas, because his sister got killed.
Oh, wow.
That was a really hard moment. We received a phone call that she got shot.
Wow.
Shot dead.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just 3 days before our big open day, where Douglas was going to be our main star with his Arabian horse, Yankee.
Okay.
So Douglas, he was orphaned at the age of 1, and he had been raised in an institution. And he came into his life, or he came into ours when he was 9 years old in the early 2014. His grandma actually asked us if we could take him home with us. So we brought him to our farm. We took him into our family as a son.
Aww.
You met him, right?
Yes. He is amazing, wonderful, full of life.
Oh, yeah.
Joyful.
So motivated.
Yes.
Big smile.
Big smile.
Full of energy.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah.
All day energy. Like from 5 a.m.
Yes.
till midnight.
He's amazing.
Never ending. Yeah. Well, the day the news came that Douglas's sister had been killed was extremely hard, because the agony that washed over Douglas was close to unbearable. Because his sister and his brother Utzon, that was 18 years old at that time, was the only family he had left, apart from the grandma.
Right.
And now Tamaris, who was his younger sister, younger than Utzon, still older than Douglas, got killed. And she also already had 2 children.
Yes. Wow. So it was just, I can't even imagine. It's hard to imagine.
So sad.
When you don't have any other family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, he was very attached to his brother and his sister, of course, because that was the only blood family he had, even though he really fully embraced us as his parents.
Yes.
That's the only blood family he had. It was important to him, of course, yeah. But both Douglas's siblings were involved in taking and selling drugs, and they had plenty of enemies.
Yeah.
They lived in a city about 60 miles from our farm, and so did Douglas's grandma.
Uh-huh.
And Douglas's grandma had actually given up her own daughter for adoption to a neighbor. And then when her daughter died, the 3 grandchildren went to an orphanage. And Douglas even had a 4th sibling, and he had died when he was little.
Wow.
And originally, we met Douglas at the orphanage that we first visited before we had our own farm, where he lived with his brother, and they were very, very close. They all they had was each other.
Yeah.
And Tamaris had lived there too, but she had left the orphanage as a teenager to live with her boyfriend. She got pregnant and then had 2 babies by the age of 17.
Wow.
And that's when she did get killed at that age.
Oh.
It's really, really, really tragic. Really
So
sad.
sad.
Mhm. Well, another little thing that happened is that orphanage actually closed. And Douglas was one of the last boys to leave because he had nowhere to go. And he ended up being sent to his grandma's for 2 months.
Okay.
That's when we found him. That's another long story because we had, it took us about 18 months to find all our boys that had already become our sons.
Yes.
But there the grandma asked us if we would take him. She was very worried he would follow the same path as his older brother and get into drugs. So she wanted him as far from the city as possible. And our farm was a perfect fit.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And Douglas, as you know, he fully integrated into our family ever since.
Yes.
And he's a boy that loves Jesus and horses with a passion.
Yes.
And he's also an excellent horseman.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Amazing.
A strong leader, right?
Yes.
And highly motivated as long he was with us. You remember this?
Yes, I do.
When we were there, everything went great.
Yes.
He's extremely helpful, super fun, just great to be with, honoring, right? And then when we're not there, he's pushy and rebellious and does everything his own way.
Yes.
So he gave the other base leaders that took over from us a hard time.
Yes.
Right? But it's also because he's an orphan and his pain in his heart had not been healed yet. So it would come out with people who either didn't have a strong leadership gift or not enough love.
Okay.
Either. There's lots of people that had enough love, but maybe not strong enough leaders.
Yes.
Or the other way around. You know, at school, those people don't have real love for the kids necessarily. So,
yeah.
So Richard and me, we actually never got to see that side of him because his love and his respect for us was really high. And of course, me and him connected through horses.
Yeah.
And with the horses, he was able to forget his past. And I taught him.
Yes.
And
yes.
we were like of the same energy, you know.
Yes.
It was high energy, like go all day and
Yes.
want to learn more and want to train the horses. And we could be out there for hours.
Yeah, I
you
remember.
Know that, right?
Oh, I remember, yes.
I remember the day we were helping you mount bareback. Do you remember that?
Oh, I do remember that. That was a good laugh.
Yeah. So in those days, I think we just had the 3 horses, a thoroughbred called Categoric, then Yankee, the Arabian, and Alegria, the little Criollo.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
But, well, between Douglas and us, we were able to establish communication. And then from there, love, trust, honor, right? But I think for the rest of the world, it was a different story.
Okay.
At school, he didn't obey, got into fights. We often had to pick him up. He got suspended.
Wow.
I think in that year, he was on his 4th warning. And usually after 3 incidents, they move the child to another school or the government intervenes.
Yeah.
But we prayed and, you know, thankfully there has been grace on the part of the school that they kept going with him and they allowed him to stay on.
What a story. So far. Yes.
Yeah. So the day we got that tragic phone call about Tamaris's death, we were actually practicing horsemanship for a demonstration for the open day.
Okay.
And we were in the field.
Wow.
We're in the field. Richard gets the call, gives the phone to me. I listen and I have to tell him that. And the pain was intense. Intense. You know, his sister had been killed by bullets to the head. His brother was in a coma in an intensive care with 2 bullets in the belly. They had to remove his spleen, and when they called, he was in critical condition. And we prayed and he lived and he's doing well today. He's actually married. He has children.
Oh.
But, you know, it was a super hard day. Those kind of news, they come like a shock and they like bite your bones with, you can feel like something goes all the way to your bones.
Yeah.
That's the only way, like a fear, you know?
Yes.
So that day we walked Douglas through the forgiveness process toward the murderers, and we stayed with him until he had cried himself to sleep at night.
Mm.
And the following days, the emotions were, of course, extremely high. He went from grief to pain to anger to rage, and he had to continuously choose to let it go and keep on forgiving the ones that hurt his family.
Yeah, that's so hard.
So hard, and now we're coming up to the open day and we're dealing with this tragedy. So we, of course, said, okay, we're just going to cancel the open day. And he said, no, let's keep going. And we told him he doesn't have to do the demo. Of course not.
Yes.
And we thought, okay, we have our other boys. We have Rogério, we have Reginaldo, 2 other ones of our Brazilian sons, which you also met.
Yes,
right?
they were amazing.
Yeah. And they were able to show off the amazing process our 3 horses had made. Like by now, everyone could walk, trot, and canter bareback and bridleless. But Douglas was the star of the show. You know, he was super talented. So he, at that time, he was already able to stand up on his Yankee. That was his horse.
Yeah.
It was like his Yankee. That was the name, Yankee, in walk and in trot. And Douglas said that he would try to do the demo. And we told him it would be okay to stop anytime he feels he can't go on.
Yeah.
So the demo day came, and another tragedy happens. Yankee, whom Douglas had trained since February, was lame.
Oh.
He had thrown a splint, and there was no way he could do any more than walk during the show.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Yankee and Douglas are like, they were so close. They
were like one heart.
They were like,
soul.
Yes, they would just be galloping bridleless across the fields and bareback. Yeah.
So I looked at Douglas and I thought, okay, now he has every reason to completely break down and say life is unfair and quit.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of barely dared to ask him if he would be willing to demonstrate just a little bit with our small horse, Alegria.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Douglas had put so much effort into getting Yankee ready for the open day. He sometimes spent 8 or 10 hours per day practicing.
Wow.
But to my surprise, Douglas looked at me and said, yes, of course, I will do it with Alegria. A leader never gives up. That was his slogan, right? I taught him that when he was little and he wanted to quit, you know?
Yes.
I always said, hey, Douglas, you're a leader. And a leader never gives up. So he kind of liked that.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
And he said that. Well, then the demo day came, people arrived, and the show began. And it all went really well. And then comes the point where it's Douglas's turn on Alegria.
Wow.
So he got on her bareback with one halter and a rope rein.
Yes.
Okay. And I shared with the spectators how we offer the horse an idea.
Mm-hmm.
And we wait for the horse to follow that idea. And only when they have said yes to that idea and joined us and we're in the same energy, and then the horse chooses to do something else, we would block. Okay. But until the horse follows our idea that we present to the horse, we do not stop them from going the wrong way, making a wrong decision, or doing anything else.
Yes.
We basically show the horse love, honor, trust, and leadership. We say, come and follow me. I have a great idea for you and your life. And if the horse says, no, thank you, I go over here instead, we don't block them and say no. We stick with the horse until he actually comes into our idea. So we stick with the horse wherever he goes, and we just keep offering him our idea until he first says yes.
Okay.
Because if you don't get that yes, all you're doing is saying no, no, no.
Right.
Don't do that, don't do that, don't do that.
Right.
And horses just don't take that well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
They're in their own world, and you say, I have a better idea. How about this? And until they give you a yes and follow, the rest is like control.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Yes.
So we don't block the horse and we don't stop him if he chooses something that is contrary to what we're offering. Because to us, real love and real leadership involves a choice.
Yeah.
Without the choice, you only have control. You never have the heart, be that of a horse or a man.
Yes, this is so true.
Reminds us a bit of Adam and Eve, right?
Yeah.
In the garden.
Yes.
Remember what God did?
Gave them free will.
Yeah.
Gave them a free choice.
Yes. And God didn't stop them from sinning.
Right.
It's really incredible.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So God is just telling them what is good, what is not good, and the consequences of it.
Yeah.
And then they could make the choice. And when they chose the opposite of what God had told them is good, God did not stop them from making that wrong choice. He let them choose. So it's the same with the horse, right?
Yeah.
Because I think if God would have stopped Adam and Eve from choosing even the wrong thing, then how is that real love? How is that a real choice? It's not. Then you're a puppet.
So true.
And this is also how we make a horse a robot. He has no real choice. And we say, no, you come here, you do this, you be with me.
Yeah.
Well, then we never have his heart.
Right.
We never have his heart. And that's how sometimes the eyes of the horse are either really shiny and the ears are up and forward because it's on high alert and actually afraid and stressed, or the eyes go dull.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes people say, oh, my horse has the ears forward and the eyes are out on stalks. It loves jumping. I don't think so. Okay. So now there are horses that absolutely enjoy jumping. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, for sure.
Yes.
Some horses love to run around the paddock and buck. Others like to sleep a lot. I think Secretariat was one of those.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I love that movie.
From the
by
movie.
The way. Yeah. But he was in his documentary, they talk about how much that horse loved to sleep, you know?
That's crazy. Too funny.
Yeah. So bringing it back to our Brazil story, you know, while I was sharing with the spectators, the entire time, Alegria did nothing that Douglas had asked her. Instead of walking and trotting calmly along the fence line, she was literally bucking all across the arena.
Oh my goodness.
With her nose between her legs, completely the opposite of what Douglas had asked. Now he's a good rider. He just sat up there relaxed, you know, not bucking hard as in from fear.
Yes.
Just dominant. She's a dominant mare. She's just saying, I'm going over here. Who are you to ask me these questions? My answer is no.
Yeah.
I don't want to follow. I'm not doing that. I'm doing my own thing. She was a very, very strong-minded.
I remember her being strong-minded.
Did you ever get to ride her?
No, but I saw Douglas. We went on a trail ride and man, she was a lot of horse, I would say. She was
even though she was little.
Yeah, little, but a fireball.
And she questions every person who presents themselves to her and asks them if they are the leader she needs. And then we stand there and we kind of don't measure up.
Although, and that's saying a lot because Douglas is quite the leader, really, truly.
Oh, yeah. But he had spent very little time with her and yet built his main relationship with Yankee. So now in front of this crowd, he had to prove that he could do it with no preparation.
Wow.
It's a lot to ask of a young boy.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
But Douglas was perfect. He just went with Alegria wherever she went. He smiled. He offered her his idea over and over again. And every time she said, no. Oh, no. Douglas stayed calm. He simply offered her his thought again and again without putting any pressure on her or trying to force her to listen to him. It was incredible to watch.
So neat.
I wish you would have been there.
I do too.
You know, maybe we filmed it. We actually filmed a lot of stuff over the years, but it's in the archive.
Yeah.
Anybody out there listening to us, we are always looking for video editors. We are always looking for people who love to go through endless hours of horsemanship footage.
Yes.
Yes.
So give us a holler. Give Ingela a holler.
Well, I told the spectators, this is what I'm looking for in a boy that we raise. Leadership
Yeah.
quality, love that puts the other person or the horse first. And for that, to get there, you have to put your own desires aside. You know, there's a scripture in the word that says to honor others above ourselves, right? So in Douglas's case, he had to be willing to look like a fool in front of everyone because the horse was not following his thought and idea,
Yeah.
right? And in that moment, if you start to use force and you tell the horse, hey, listen up, we are in a demo, I want to look good, you better do what I tell you right now, well, then we'll never have the horse's heart.
Yeah.
He might obey.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Okay. But if we're interested in building a heart connection and actually be chosen by the horse, that is not the way.
Right.
Well, it started to turn out good though, because after about 20 minutes of Alegria acting like a wild horse, in the meantime, I started to doubt whether Douglas would be able to do this for very much longer without his anger coming up. I mean, think of it.
Yeah.
His sister just got killed.
Yeah.
His main horse is lame, and now he's riding this horse that is not listening. It's like too much for anyone.
Yeah, that's so much.
But to my surprise, you know, the boy just kept going, offering the horse his idea again and again. Oh, it's beautiful to watch.
So beautiful.
And then we have a happy ending.
Yay!
Yay! Because all of a sudden, Alegria's eyes changed. They became all cute and her heart turned toward Douglas. It was visible to everyone.
Oh.
It's like she fell in love with the boy, you know?
Yeah.
From being independent and disobedient, she changed her attitude completely.
And I guess she could just feel him. I mean,
She chose him as a
she
leader.
chose him. Wow.
Because he stayed calm, he stayed there, he displayed all the leadership qualities. So she looked at him and it, you know, if we would put it in human words, which we don't want to humanize the horse, but it was like, I love you, Douglas, you are amazing. I'll follow you wherever you lead me. You're brilliant and worthy to be my leader. It was kind of that feeling that came across.
Yes.
Of course, she just chose him as like she would a lead mare.
That's incredible.
And Douglas, of course, felt that change. And, you know, for the people that are watching, they're seeing this kind of unruly horse, right? And it's not looking like it's been trained very well at all. But now Douglas knew the moment. So he reached forward, he took the halter off, and the horse stayed completely tuned into his energy.
So
she
neat.
Walked and trotted when he did, and she stopped and they were one. She stopped when he stopped, she went when he went, and they were one. Through every turn and every gate, they were in perfect harmony. I had to like stop talking on the microphone and wipe some tears, you know.
Yeah, I bet there were a lot of tears there.
In the crowd?
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't watch because I had to just take care of my own tears.
Oh my goodness.
And for me, we had poured in so much of our time, energy, finances, heartache into the boys, the project, the horses, you know. In that moment, I knew that it had all been worth it. All the hardship, all the pressure, the suffering, everything we had laid down, everything we missed out on, like our families, our countries, hanging with friends, eating nice food, all of these things we laid down, right? When you go to a place like that. It had been worth it all. Because right before my eyes, I had a once upon a time orphan boy who now was my son, who had overcome his terrible past, his painful present, and become love to a horse. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Great love and great leadership flowing out of him, so the animals just couldn't resist. Yeah.
That's so good.
And people were touched by what they saw, you know. At the end, we invited the kids to come and to stroke the horses. And how sweet.
So sweet. And such a holy moment. I mean,
the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
And I know that boosted him so much. Just, I mean, really almost more than if she had just from the start, you know, she challenged him and he was able to still prove himself to her. I don't know. That's just so cool. It's such a...
And it's amazing to see what Jesus has done in Douglas's heart. I mean, that was a really big thing that happened.
Yes.
A hard week.
Yeah.
An extremely hard week. Yeah, and then at the end, something funny happened. 4 little boys climbed over the arena rails, right? Immediately when we invited them in, and they ran into the arena with their dirty t-shirts. They picked up the sticks because the other boys, we all left the sticks on the ground, and they started to beat the ground, like very close to the horses. And they were running and yelling and completely out of control.
Oh.
And I remember Reginaldo, Douglas, Rogerio, and we look at each other. We raise our eyebrows, and the boys starting to grin, and then they're saying, "Mom, look at that. These kids are from an orphanage."
Oh my goodness!
Because we didn't know who is in the
crowd.
No, and I asked, smiling, "How can you tell, boys?" And then they replied, "Well, they're just like we were 6 years ago when we first came."
Oh,
they recognized it, so we all laughed together, and we had so much gratefulness in our hearts to think about how far we had come together.
Yeah.
So then we invited the leadership from that orphanage to start bringing the children every Saturday to learn horsemanship. They gladly accepted, and this is how we got a new group of children. Yeah.
I remember when that happened. That's so awesome. And I remember I was there actually when they came one time, and they were just thrilled. It was beautiful to see those kids with the horses, and then just to see Douglas and the other boys teaching them. So neat.
Yeah, it's nice when you raise a generation and then they raise the next generation.
Yeah.
And we were like really proud of how Douglas walked through this painful process, because his family has a long history of paying others back. Someone gets hurt, and then those around the victim repay with violence. And then it never stops. Just bounces from family to family, from person to person, all this retaliation and unforgiveness and payback, right?
Yes.
And Douglas was the first one who broke that cycle and chose not to pay back evil with evil, but evil with good. And he extended forgiveness where absolutely none was deserved.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
And then he even prayed for the murderers of his sister. And this really is the kind of heart we want to see in the boys we raise.
Amazing. That is just, I think I always say amazing every episode, but thank you, Ingela. That is just a great story. So it is a holy moment. We are praying for you guys to have a holy moment and
to grow in leadership.
Yes.
Even in our pain.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Honor others above ourselves.
This is so true. Yes. We will talk to you in 2 weeks. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. So great to have you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Horses and Holy Moments podcast. Stay tuned for the next episode.